Marcie Billen. I'm a real estate agent. And today I'm going to show you what I'm going to do in my day. So one thing I've been a little bit freaked out lately about is the shift. If you are a real estate agent and you're seeing the shift in your market, my condolences, feeling all of that. But I have it in my mind, like, and this is what I've always done, to stay on track and just do my job, create my content, follow up with my buyers and sellers, and everything will be fine because that's the business that I built. So I want to show you that. So I've been a realtor for like 7 years, 8 years. I was a property manager before. My cat is climbing on the camera. You'll see her later. She's one of the stars of the show. Oh, there's a whisker. Willa, you don't have to do that. Cool. I'll show you Willa. She's fantastic. BB's also a star of the show, and you'll see her as well. So like I said, I am a realtor. I see myself first though as a business owner, and therefore I am an American entrepreneur. I hate the hustle culture in America. I hate the hustle culture around being an entrepreneur, thinking that somehow there's her tail. Thinking that somehow you have to hate your life, work every second of the day, work 7 days of the week just to make a business go. And it's just not necessary. Plus it's really bad for your health. So that's one of the things that I strive to do. Today, we're gonna work on a repair list. We have book club with the team, my team, which you'll meet them. And then we have follow-ups to do. We have some content to make. And I'm probably going to the gym. That seems about it. All right, let's get started. So I have to finish getting ready for my day. Can't stay in the house this morning, so we gotta leave. So I'll show you my office later on this afternoon. Right now, it's 9:40, clock strong. I have to minus 20 minutes off of it every time. It's a whole thing. But 9:40, 8:40, I mean, we really have to be out of here in like 20 minutes. So I'm gonna get going and I'll meet back up with you in the car. So I'm at the office with my coffee. Totally forgot my tripod for this little thing, but it's not a big deal because we won't be here that long. So what I'm getting ready for this morning is book club. I'll probably say hi to my friends while I'm here because I never come to the office. I mean, I do like once a week and that's it pretty much. For book club, like I said, we're reading Run Like Clockwork. So it's by Mike McAlevitz, and it's about how to like design your time so that you're spending time designing your business and delegating things in your business. So I'll share some of my favorite quotes after we get done with book club. So I know Ella, you probably, and that's fine. Ella's been on vacation for a couple days because they had a Filipino holiday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. We're doing chapters 7 and 8 today. Hanson is not here because he took his dad to do something, and I was like, well, you didn't read it anyway. And he was like, how did you know? What do you mean, how did I know?
Like, we've only been married to each other for how many years?
Yes.
I know these things.
So the first thing is a quote that you liked.
Yes. It was like, I have 2 of them. One was like the very first sentence of chapter 7. The longer we do something, the longer we will continue to do it, even if it doesn't serve us.
Yes.
Ugh. That's just, ugh.
That is so true.
Yes, true and depressing at times. You're like, yes, okay, I see what's going on here. My second quote was on page 140, and it is, make decisions throughout the production day that keep projects in the green. So the system that they're talking about here with this one is they use like a street light system or traffic light story.
Oh,
so,
yeah, the red and yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, keeping projects in the green. When she was describing that story, like having to go out there every 15 minutes, I was like, what? No.
Yeah. Ella, she was having to like, so her employees would finish something and then there would be other projects, but they were like, we don't know what to do next. And so she'd have to go out there and figure it out. And then she's like, do this next. And then they'd finish it. And then 20 minutes later, they'd be like, we don't know what to do next. They created this. They created this system where it's like red, yellow, and green. And so the red is like the most important thing they need to do first. The yellow is the next, and the green is like, fine, you don't have to mess with it right now. And then she just goes out every morning to fix the colors and like, oh, this is what we need to do first. And then so that way she's not bugged during the day. And it's not all the time. It's just like, I wish I could schedule every single phone call.
Yeah.
Instead of just like, oh, hey, they're calling me now.
It's the worst, especially when you're like finally into a task too. You're like, okay, like I'm like making really good progress on this. And then like in the middle, like we just changed daycares, you know, and we have this app on our phone where we can like check her in, and it like gives you a notification, which is kind of like creepy almost, of like every activity. So it's like she had all her breakfast, she changed her diaper, now they're doing gym, now they're at lunch, now they're outside. And I'm just like, turn it off, I don't want it anymore. Like,
you don't want to know what she's doing all day, every day?
Oh my god.
Play-by-play of your 2-year-old?
Right.
So I'm back home, and the reason I had to leave, and I didn't have to leave, but the reason I left is because I do have a housekeeper who comes to clean. And the reason that I have one is because I'm not super great at keeping house, and I'm tired a lot from working a lot. And I just decided that it was the leverage that I needed. It's one of the first pieces of leverage that we put into place. And we're very privileged, I understand, to be able to do that. But I think it's a really important piece of leverage if it's not something that you enjoy, and I just don't. So my office is at the very front of our house, and mine's small, but I really love it because it's mine. So I do have like a standing desk. I rarely stand. I do have a kneeling chair that I sit in. And then of course I have all of my books, which I love. So, and this is my recent acquirement, is this big Studio Mac. And if you don't have a big screen to work on, I highly suggest that you get one, even if it's not a Studio Mac, because it's so helpful. I'm finally back in my home office and answering text messages. So my mom texted me, and she had like some things that she wanted to give me: a dresser, a storage bin, and a coat rack. And I told her I'd take the coat rack. But then it looks like the person, the realtor who showed one of our listings yesterday, just sent an offer. So I have to call and present that, which should be a lot of fun. And then I have to finish my things that are due today. So I have these items that are due today, and then I have overdue tasks in my CRM. So my CRM, you know, is my contact relationship manager. And so I'll work on my tasks that are due today first, and then I'll go back through and work on the things that I have overdue that I didn't finish yesterday or the day before that. I think today's Wednesday. Yeah, today's Wednesday. So a realistic Wednesday for you. This is what it's like. My goal is to get this all done in an hour. Right now, it is exactly 12 o'clock. So that's what we're working on. My hair is just phenomenal today. So I'm in the middle of my 1 hour time block for doing all of my follow-ups. And one of the things I have to do is set up a search for a buyer that I met with last week. And so I spoke to him about, you know, what he's looking for. So he's wanting something between 150 and 200 most likely. He's like under 200. Usually they mean like not within more than a $50,000 spread, because if they did that, then it would be like looking at vastly different kinds of houses. He also wants a little acreage. So I'm gonna put 0.5 plus, because I know that, you know, I think he'll take half an acre, but there's usually not in half an acre. It's usually like an acre plus in the areas that he's looking at. So the other thing I'm doing is drawing a map around the places that we talked about. So he really wants to be, this is Oklahoma. He really wants to be on the east side. And so that's what we talked about. So I am drawing some lines here, like so, going all the way down to Noble like this. So now there's 24 items. So my results look like this, which is pretty good. My goal with setting this up for him, because he's not going to be purchasing until next year, which, I mean, it's November now, so next year is like right around the corner, is that he gets to, you know, see what's out there. I told him to drive the areas. I always tell my buyers to do that, especially if they're kind of going outside of like where they grew up or they haven't lived here before. So that's how I set up his search like this. Okay, so my hour's up and I did not get everything done. Not even close. However, I did get quite a few things done. I uploaded a new thumbnail for a different, for another video. Well, I was on the 35-minute phone call with a client who's not even a client, but it's fine. And I also set up that search that I showed you guys. And then what else did I do? Oh, I cleared out some stuff, but I know I have 11 more follow-ups to do. So I'm gonna go eat lunch and then I'm going to get back to it and probably do another hour on my follow-ups. Okay, so I'm on to another hour of work. Basically, I set my timer for 1 hour and try to get as much stuff as I can possibly get done. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. So I have to write a counter offer. I just had a contract break, meaning that it is not going to close and they're not going to look for another house, which is fine. So that means I don't have to write their repair list. But I do have to tell the agent that it's broken, and he is, you know, a friend. He was one of my mentors at the beginning of my career, which sucks. Then I have to finish my follow-ups. So I'll check back in with you in 1 hour. Let's see what time it is right now. It is 2:09. So at 3:09, I'll be back. Okay, it is now 3:10. So I got done with an hour of work, and I got a lot more done this time because I didn't have a 35-minute phone call. So, you know, that happens sometimes. So I got to write a counter offer for a listing that I received, an offer for a listing that I received. And so we wrote that counter offer. I followed up with someone that we had just closed on last month to see how their house is going. And I haven't heard back from them, but that's totally fine. They know I'm here if they need me. And then I had to tell my friend who's the realtor that our deal was broken. So that's really hard. But that's real estate for you. And I followed up with an investor. I followed up with another woman who I've been talking to for years now. She'll be listing her house next year to sell most likely. And then I got through all of that and I had only spent like 30 minutes. So that was amazing. I got through a ton of stuff. So then I wrote a thank you note for a listing that I got earlier this week that I'll be listing Friday, so that's exciting. And then I'm planning for a book club. Right now, me and my team are reading a book, and the book we're reading is called Run Like Clockwork, and it's by Mike McAllivetz. So this book is about using your time in a more wise way as you're running your business. So some of the things we're doing, like we're attempting, is tracking our time, because he has kind of this formula that he outlines for, you know, how much time you should be spending on specific things, like doing tasks, delegating different tasks to different people or to different systems. If you don't have any leverage in terms of people, you can always have leverage in terms of systems. And then other things like designing your business. So I like to work on designing. However, I do not spend enough time on it. So that's one of the things I'm working towards. So now Lola and I are on our afternoon walk. I try to walk every single day, which doesn't always happen, and it's kind of gross out here today. And obviously I'm filming on my phone because it's much easier than my other camera. But I realized I didn't tell you, so I'm doing follow-ups with people, and you didn't see me doing any actual lead generation, right? So my lead generation is a little bit different than others. My main form of lead generation is actually YouTube, and then my database, which actually they go hand in hand. So I have another YouTube channel. It's called Oklahoma with or something like that. Mostly people find it because it's suggested to them, especially if they're moving to Oklahoma, because I do a ton of videos about Oklahoma and Norman and other things. So that is mostly what I do. And then we also do a lot of events for our database. So one of the events that we're working on right now is Chinese New Year. So it's a big banquet dinner that we do. If you haven't, Lola is not loving the way I'm doing this right now. If you haven't figured out yet, my husband, Handsome, is Chinese. So that's where that comes from. So with Chinese New Year, it's a big banquet style dinner, and we make it fun. Like we do it at a restaurant, a Chinese restaurant. We order 5 dishes for every table, the same dishes. And it's people that they don't necessarily know each other unless they're already friends, you know, in our business. And so that's a lot of fun. We get to connect with people, and they get to have like a cool cultural experience that they normally would not get to have. So that's why we like doing that. The other thing that we accidentally kind of did is we are doing like a food drive this month. So we usually do a giveaway for our clients every single month. So this is our database, like the people who, whenever we call them, they say, "Hey Marcie," or "Hey Handsome." Handsome is my husband's name. Like literally that's his name. And so we do a giveaway every month, but this month we decided to have a food drive for Food and Shelter, which is our, you know, one of our places in Norman that homeless people or people that really need stuff can go and get things. And so we sent out an email and a text message, and now Handsome has to drive around to a bunch of people's houses next week, which is awesome, to pick up different donations for Food and Shelter. So that was just like an off the cuff idea, and then it ended up working out really well. Like I said, we recently got rid of our office, so now I have all this stuff in the hallway of my house. So I'm gonna put it up because we have company coming tomorrow. And I'm done with like my real estate work for the day. So now what I do, and I got this from like working at the gym all the time. So I used to be a personal trainer and a CrossFit coach. And so I would go to work early in the morning and work till noon, and then I would come home and like sleep and stuff and rest, cook, and then I would go back to work in the evening for evening classes. And I've never really like let go of that. So what I've been doing the evenings is working on my content. So content meaning like for YouTube or for Facebook or for Instagram, basically all my social media stuff, because it's fun for me, it's really creative, and I like working when it's dark on creative stuff. So that's what I'll end up doing this evening. But right now I have to clean up all this junk from our office and probably get some dinner. So that's what I'll be doing. Okay, so I'm now at the end of my day, which means that I'm going to start working on content. I know it sounds crazy. So time right now is 6:36, and I will start working on content. So basically, and we can go over this in another video if you guys would like, but I run everything through Asana, if you're saying it that way, whichever way you want to say it, which is like a task system. And I'm sure that you've heard of it. If you haven't, then go look it up, Asana. I really love it, and it's how I do pay for it because I just couldn't help myself. It's so great for putting systems in place. So basically I have a template for each video, and I just know how long it takes me, about 3 weeks to produce a video, including getting it to my editors and all that stuff. So today I'm looking at my game day video, and it looks like I need to finish writing the outline. But what I do as I'm writing is I actually watch other YouTube videos. So since I'm focusing on real estate today with my YouTube videos, then I'm gonna watch other like realtors who make YouTube videos as well. So I'm very excited for that. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm sorry the animals weren't more involved. I don't know, they were just sleeping all day. It was cold. And then you didn't get to meet Handsome, but you will at some point. So thanks so much, and definitely watch this video next. I can't wait to connect with you.